Hello, this is Dorothy Kilty from Raccoon Alley Creations, and I was going to start a folio, and I thought I'd just get on with on the video and just kind of show you what I'm thinking, what I'm doing here. For the outside of the folio, you can put envelopes together. You can put you could use file folders. You could use cereal box or wood, but what I'm using is craft paper, and this is fairly heavy craft paper. And once we glue some things down to it, and maybe a fabric cover or even just a collage or pages or something, it'll be plenty strong enough for what this is. So what I want to start with is I want it to be, what size do I want it? So I want it to have about, this is just 8.5 by 11 paper, folded in half the long way to get the size. This is a coffee dyed paper. And I wanted it to go, kind of like this. But I want to have a little bit more of a spine than just one little fold. So what I'm doing, I fold it in half to find out where the center is. And then I'm going to go I'm going to go 1/4 inch on each side of that and just crease it. Okay? So this makes it a 1/2 inch spine, which is actually fairly large for a folio, but that is, I wanted to have some room and stuff for it so that it can be, I can put some pockets in and not have it be too awful much of a gator mouth. If you can see, but I obviously didn't score these straight. Back and see if I can do this again. I actually usually kind of tip it up when I'm scoring it. So this is the halfway point. So I'm going to go, I need to put that right on a line. Okay, I'm going to go over 1/4 inch and then go right down here. And I'll score it twice. Okay. And then I'm going to go 1/4 inch on the other side, which if you put it right on a line like this, you can see it'll tell you exactly where 1/4 inch is. Otherwise, it's these are little 1/8 of an inch ticks, so it's 2 of those. Okay, so now we've got this folded better. Okay. Let's see if we can fold it this time. Yeah, that's folding better. Okay. So, identifying the correct line is not the easiest thing to do when you've got too many. Another trick you can use on this is if you use a file folder, a lot of times they are scored in several places. And so that gives you, you can use that as a rounded folder. Now, from this line here, okay, I want this to come over and have a little bit more room. Let's put this line on the 5 point, okay? So this paper, because it was 8.5, it's going to be 4 1/4 inches wide. But I don't like to just trust that, so I want it to go. Okay, there's 4 1/4, and I want it to go at least another 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch beyond that. If you make it a 1/2 inch, then you have some room to maybe put a pen there or something like that. So I'm going to go over 3/8 of an inch, I think. So just like that. 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and then I want to do the same thing over here. Where is this quarter? You can also put a pencil mark there, or a pen if it's going to be easier to see, because we're going to be covering this. Okay, so once again, from here, kind of messed that up, didn't I? If you go over 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 is right there, and then you add 3 inches or 3/8 of an inch on the other side of that. That's going to put it right there. Now, what this gives me when I put it together is it's all nice and folded. Use my bone folder to crease things. If you don't have a bone folder, one of the things you can do is take the handle of your scissors and rub that. Okay, now what that gives me, if I did it right, is, see, we have a folio where that's not right. I did not do 3/8 of an inch there. So what we're doing here, let's just check this again. This is from here, 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4, and then 3/8, 1, 2, 3, and that is, aha, my line was just a tiny bit crooked, and it doesn't take much to make it. Okay, so now am I there? No, I'm over. Ah, how frustrating. Do I have the wrong line? Let's try this one again. This line, I'm going to do it upside down since I kind of messed up that line there. This line is right here. Okay. That, now we want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4, and then 1, 2, 3. Right there. So now it should be lining up correctly. So it wasn't the one that I thought was longer that was wrong. It was actually the shorter one that was wrong. So you can maybe see that I'm having to fight this paper a little bit, and that's because it is a nice thick paper to use. Okay, now let's see how it looks. Aha! Now it matches up, okay? So now what I'm going to take with this is to cover it. Now I have this super cool fabric that had trains on it. This is left over from a quilt that I made. And I think it'll be a beautiful cover for this. Now what I want it to be is, I want it to fold in on both sides this way, so that's wide enough. And then I want it to come in about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go over to here, and I'm going to, so it's about 1 inch or so below, and I'm just going to tear it, okay? There we go, we've torn it. And so now when I lay it down, I'm going to get rid of this board. I don't want to get glue all over it, that wouldn't be good. I have enough trouble. Okay, so now, first of all, which is right way up, this is the right ways to the top. Okay, and we want this to be kind of centered. Okay, all right, so the way I'm going to start this, and this is actually too big, so let me see, if we go like an inch on this side, come over here, we'll come about an inch over here. That gives me plenty of room, so when I take paper and put it on the inside of it, you know, it'll wrap around nicely. Okay, once again, right side up. Now, the way I'm going to do this, it's a little bit easier to do with a box than it is with this cardstock, or this craft paper. So we'll start with folding these corners up. Now, when I do this, you want to leave it over a little bit. You don't want it right to the edge. If you do that, when you fold it all up, it'll round the edge a little bit. Okay, so we'll take this over here. Do this, same thing on each corner. So here's the edge. It's maybe a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch. You don't want it to be too big, but that's going to allow us to have some pretty sharp corners on this. Now, okay, lay this out. And one of the things I could have done with this was just put some paper clips to hold it together, hold it flat, because I'm sliding it back and forth to help it stay in view for the film. Can you see me do this? No. So once again, I have put a dot in the corner, and now I'm going to fold it up so I can feel the corner there a little bit, give it a little bit room, okay? Now, on this side, let me cut this. I got a package wrapped in this. Now I'm going to go kind of kitty corner on the corner, because this is going to make mitered corners, hopefully. Okay, so now we're going to just fold this up. Okay, and I am going to clip it. Okay, and now I'm going to come around to this side. Same thing. These are stuck down, so I'm going to come in the corners at an angle. I'm using Fabri-Tac glue, and I put it in this Sugar Bell piping bottle. Thank you very much, Pam, at the Paper Outpost, for the idea. But it's because I've got arthritis in my hands, and I have a hard time squeezing the bottles. It hurts my hands. So, okay, now we're holding these down. I'm going to put it inside where that fold is. Oh. Well, look at this. This didn't fold nice. And we'll just cover it up. Okay? So now I'm going to kind of come corner-wise there. Go along the corner over here. Okay, fold it up. I'll put another clip right here, and then this time I'll do a better job on the corner. Fold the corner up. Now, even though I'm not happy with the way this one corner works, when I put the paper on it, on the inside of the cover, it'll cover it up. Okay, now what I'm doing here is as I fold this up, I'm looking to make sure my corner is kind of a sharp corner there. Okay? Let's go back to, this one is not, because that first one was done wrong, but I'll do the best I can to get a sharp corner there. Now we'll go over here. Okay, so this time, I'll do it the same way. Okay, so glue in the middle and all the way over to this side. Okay, now we'll fold the center up and I will clip it in place. Okay, and now we'll go over here and once again we'll watch the corner and make sure that we're getting a nice sharp corner. See how nice and sharp that corner is? That's what we want. Then I can move this over to hold that in place. We'll come over here. Move the rest of the way over here. On the diagonal where we're mitering the corners, and then we're going to come up and go here. Okay, now I can take this after it's dry and put folders on it. So I'm creasing these again where it is, kind of training these. Instead of, I could have put glue all over the whole thing. And depending what it is, sometimes that's more secure. And sometimes I don't care. So we'll go with that, okay? So the next, I'm gonna put the papers across the inside, and I think what I'm going to do with this one, after I get the paper on the inside, is to sew around the edge of it. So that'll help secure that as well. When I'm putting the paper here, and I have this cool catalog, I think it's cool, and it has all kinds of pictures and of different parts and all kinds of things. It's very old. I'm cutting it here, cutting the thread to get the pages out. Sometimes it's not this easy to do this. So this, I believe, is pulling apart a little bit already. Let's find another page with some pictures. This one is kind of tearing. I'm going to go ahead and tear it out. Okay. And let me go to the center of this section. Okay, let's cut these papers out. Maybe because I used to be an engineer, but I love mechanical drawings and pictures and things. So to me, this is really fun. Okay, so now we'll take that up here, and I will glue this down a little bit stronger. What I want to do is start by just putting it across the center, where the center is going to be. Okay. And then I'll put these other pictures on each side of it. Let me see what I have here. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I want to do it this way. I'm going to cut this across up here. I don't need the tab on this page. And I'll cut this one off. Okay. So now if I do it this way, across here, and then put this one across the front here. Let me see where this is going to pull. Nope. I'm going to put this one across all the way. It'll kind of look as if it's continuous, because the fold of the folio will help cover it up. Okay, let's take these off. Okay, and we'll start with right here. Whoops. Here. You want to make sure that it's upside right. The way I like to do this is I put a whole bunch in the center of where it's going to go, but in order to make sure that the edges are glued down, I'll take and put it right along the edge of the page. Okay? So the glue is helping it. The sewing around the edge will help secure things, but the glue and stuff that we're putting on is also going to have to help strengthen this. Okay? Let's put some more down here. I want to make sure it's okay. And now we'll lay this down. Yeah, that's right. 2 horse and larger green. Okay. There we go. And now this one, in this case, by the way, in case you wondered what these are, there's actually inches on here. And they're vintage hemming clips. So when you're hemming up a skirt, you could clip the skirt the length that you wanted, and then see on the inches how deep you want the hem to be, and put it in place. Okay, so we want this picture. Okay, and you can see it's going to cover up this little bit, but I'm going to do the same thing here. Start with putting lots of glue. You could use Mod Podge. You might even be able to use a white glue on this, especially since we're going to be reinforcing it by sewing. However, when you use like a wet glue, like white glue and stuff on pages, it actually will, you get them wet and they'll more apt to wrinkle or anything. A glue like this, like the Fabri-Tac glue, it dries pretty quick, but it does give you some time to move things around. Once again, I'm just going along the edge. Not perfect, but so to get the glue right on the edge. Okay, and now we'll start over here in the corner. I'm going to get the corners the way I like them. Straight. Okay, and then I'll just put it over. Now, with a folio, one of the things that you can do is have this put together, and then when you open it, these can open out and there can be pockets or belly bands or things here to hold things, or they can just be secured in, and then this becomes a tuck spot in the cover. So for right now, I'm leaving them open until I get the paper and everything done. I am going to kind of put it to shape and clip it. So as it sits there, so it stays kind of, okay, and there's the cover for my folio, ready to go. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back soon.